It's no secret the Jaguars have the best offensive playbook in Madden 26 with Redzone dots and one-play touchdowns. In this video, I'm giving you the complete ebook for the Jaguars offensive playbook that's going to have you scoring every single drive. I'm the #1 seed in my CFM right now using this scheme, and by the end of this video, I'm going to show you all the stuff that you need to have the same results. Let's jump right into it. All right, the first thing any great offense needs is a one-play touchdown, and I'm going to show you one that's not being used enough right now, but is really overpowered. All right, so that play here is going to be motion divide from gun bunch tight end. What we're going to notice is when we flip this play, we're going to be able to put our inside receiver on a slot fade. You have to make sure that you're putting him in the slot fade while he's running behind the line of scrimmage so that you get these custom hot routes, which is going to be a backward slot fade. Now, as far as what you want to do with the rest of this route concept, I'd probably just put, Brian Thomas Jr. on his own slot fade, probably smart route it and then stem it up, one time, something like this, and then run Jacoby Myers in a corner, and then also put my tight end in a corner. So something like this, this would be a great route concept to be able to attack a lot of different defenses, particularly a cover 2 defense, because what you're going to notice is the middle of the field is just going to be wide open for an easy pass lead up the middle. Now, something else that I want to mention here is that you should probably be stemming up this tight end corner route, right? So I'm going to put Travis Hunter on that slot fade. I'm going to stem this corner route up 2 times to my tight end so that I can influence this deep half, right? So again, slot fade, Brian Thomas Jr., smart route him, custom stem it up 1 time, and then we're going to put Jacoby Myers on a corner route. So we're going to call the play just like this, and now we're going to have a defense that looks just like this. Now, a lot of people, they like to use this mid-read defender, and so if they don't follow this, fade up the field, it's just going to be wide open, and so you just see it in the middle of the field right there. Horrible rack animation, honestly, but that was an easy touchdown, right, with a good pass. So we look at the replay, and this is what I'm telling you guys. This is why you got to stem the corner out up, because you need this safety to think that this is a threat so that he'll move outside. And you see that's exactly what happens where he views this corner out as a threat to him, so he moves outside, and then that just leaves the middle of the field even more wide open for us, to be able to throw that pass. But it's really not done there because we can call the same exact route concept here, and we're going to put them in a more of a cover 3 zone coverage type of defense. And this is where the slot fade to Brian Thomas Jr. becomes valuable, because he basically acts as a runoff route for your corner. So we're going to see it again where this time they're going to be in cover 3, and you could still look to Travis Hunter, right, on his route. It's just probably not going to, you just have to throw it really early. So you'd have to throw it right there. So it's still an easy completion. It's just not going to be a wide open touchdown, because if you wait longer, he'll just be running right at a defender. So I throw it earlier, and so it's just an easy rack right there in that window, especially if their hooks are really shallow. But also you just see how we're going to go with it again here, where that corner route is going to be wide open on the sideline right there, especially because that slot fade is going to push the outside third up the field. That's why he'll be open. So again, you see it right here where, again, it's Sauce Gardner, one of the best zone coverage corners in the game, but that slot fade from Brian Thomas Jr. pushes him up the field, and that's what allows us to really take advantage of this double corner route. So really with this play, attacks every zone defense of the game. Again, you can throw this pass. This is an open pass if you want to hit it, but against cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, you either have your corner route or your inverted slot fade in the middle, making this one of the best one-play touchdowns in the game when it's called at the right time. All right, next I want to show you the most toxic RPO that you need to be using right now from the Jaguars playbook. Let me show you what I mean. All right, so we're going to come into Gun Bunch X Nasty, and this play is going to be motion RPO zone alert. So really what we're looking for is we're going to put our slot receiver on a shriek, and we're going to put our outside bunch receiver on a flat route. And what you're going to notice a lot of times is that right there, where when you hike throw that slot corner, because it's an RPO, he's looking into the backfield to stop the RPO. So this right here is the defender I'm looking at. This is who you're reading. You see how he kind of runs out there a little bit, but then right here is when he is still looking in the backfield, and so I know I beat him out to the flat, and now I can throw that. He's the one defender that really influences his play. Now, they don't have a slot corner this time, so this is just going to be an easy completion, right? And so, again, you're just going to be able to get out after the catch and turn that into easy yards. I'm not kidding. Every single time I get into these short yardage situations where I don't want to pass the ball, I'm just going to this play, because you see it again how he's just going to hesitate. And for them on defense, they have to pass commit their defense in order to get him to stop that. So really, but that opens up the run game possibly for you with this RPO. So I'm going to have them stop it right here, hopefully, where we're going to put hard flats in the field. We're going to pass commit. But really what that's going to do is it's going to make it to where their run defense defending this RPO is going to be atrocious, because obviously they're pass committing, especially if they don't actually decide to use or gap shoot you. But right here, no slot corner, and so they just make it really easy for us. And if you have a guy like Travis Hunter or Brian Thomas Jr. at that spot who can speed boost away from defenders, it's going to be a whole lot easier for you to pick up yards after the catch. So we're going to put them back into cover 2. We're going to have hard flats in the field, and we're going to pass commit though. And so that's, like I said, going to make this hopefully a little bit easier for us to run the ball. Obviously sheds can happen randomly, but I'm telling you, if you get to the second level of defense, so your initial blocks, they win and they pass committed you, it's going to be super easy to rip off big gains, you know, with this RPO. So they defend the RPO, right? But they just end up giving the run up, because you see how I just stiff arm that slot corner because they're pass committing, but it's almost like they have to pass commit in order to stop this RPO. So it's like, okay, cool, it's guarded, but if I didn't pass commit, he wouldn't guard it like this, as you saw in the last few plays. So really, you're just making them pick their poison. You just see how, again, he shuffles his feet, and so we just have an easy completion out there. So Bunch X Nasty motion RPOs don't alert, one of the best RPOs in the game, because again, you're forcing their hand, force them to pass commit to stop the pass, but then you'll just hand it off if they do. Alright, so if you found this breakdown of the Jaguars offense helpful so far, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I break down Madden 26 tips and tricks, give you guys free ebooks every single day. You don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want my full Jaguars offensive ebook with the full written breakdown, videos, screenshots, everything you're going to need to dominate on offense from this Jaguars playbook, go to the link down below in the pinned comment. You can grab it today by using code YouTube to get 20% off. I guarantee you it'll transform the way you play offense, because it's loaded with a whole bunch of different formations that's going to keep you versatile every single game. Really no-brainer. Check it out today, and let's jump right back into the video. Because the next thing that you need is an everything beater that you can go to in every situation. If the game's on the line, the first play of the game, you can count on this play to beat every defense of the game. Let me show you the best one right now from the Jaguars playbook. Alright, so the play is motion cross post here from Bunch X Nasty. This setup is straight from the Jaguars offensive ebook. You know, obviously you can go to the link in the pinned comment like I just said and check it out today. But we're going to put X on a streak right here, and we're going to snap the ball, because when this guy comes in motion, again, I have them in random defense, so it really doesn't matter they're in. We're gonna have someone open right there. I see that they're in cover 3, and so I'm just looking to my wheel route, right? Really, you're just reading a few defenders. The guys that I'm reading on this play are really just the outside defenders, right? The cornerback. So these guys right here, I see that this looks like an outside third, and so I know that I can just throw my wheel on the sideline, because he's gonna get held inside by my shriek, right? So that's a very easy, you know, cover 3 beater right there. Right here, you bring a guy in motion, which really gives you the run pass tell. Right here, I'm just gonna throw that. I mean, that's an absolute dot. It's like, if they have hard flats in the field, probably wouldn't throw that pass. You would probably just hit your drag, but it's like you have options, so that's why you're sitting 5 out right here. Let's see. Ooh, I mean, good defense, honestly, by them. They ran match coverage right there, so that's, you know, kind of an odd, you know, situation where it looks like one coverage when you snap the ball ends up being something different. So right here, we're gonna, oh my gosh, I can continue to get pressure. Like, they're just calling these crazy stunts. So that's where pocket presence is important too, because it's like, now you just have the opportunity to take off with your quarterback, you know, if you get shedded. But right here, it looks like, yeah, man coverage. That's an obvious man coverage tell. And when they run man coverage, you're throwing this running back route out of the backfield every time. If he's manned up, right, well, if they don't have a defender there, then that's perfectly fine. But if he's manned up, then he's just going to be able to beat his man out to the sideline. So we're going to put them in man coverage again right here, just so I can show you that this running back route is really the bread and butter of this play. So boom, we take the snap and we just throw this, and we just have, look at this. I mean, that's like 7 yards right there on a pass that's thrown behind the line of scrimmage. And honestly, if he didn't get bumped, it probably would have been more. So again, put this receiver on a shriek, Brian Thomas Jr. Doesn't matter the defense that they're in. They're going to be in cover 3. And so, I mean, I just have that seam wide open right there. It's like your receivers are faster than their corners. I mean, like, you're just going to have that right there. It's like that defender was just late actually defending that, so that's just an easy pass lead, but it's like step up in the pocket, cover 2, and so we just have that wide open once he runs over the top of that flat zone. So really, it's not even about reading the defense before the snap, it's actually just after the snap, reading their corners, their safeties, so you know what coverage they're in, and then going through your read progression. First, you're looking to your halfback, your drag, your wheel, and then your post, and if you need to, you're taking off with your quarterback. But really, motion cross post beats every single defense in the game. Alright, and before I jump into those final 2 plays that you absolutely don't want to miss here from the Jaguars playbook, again, make sure you subscribe to this channel. If you're serious about transforming your offense in Madden 26 and winning more games, I'm the best channel to help you do it because I break down tips and tricks just like this every day. Don't miss out on any of the content I have, and let's jump into the final 2 tips. Because the next one is going to be the best run plays here from the Jaguars playbook. You want to make sure you're staying balanced on offense, and going to these 2 different run plays is going to help you do just that. Let me show you. Alright, so those 2 plays are going to be inside zone and quarterback zone. Now, I would, you can call these 2 different plays anywhere in the field. These are probably the best from the red zone, but you're really just reading the look that they give you, okay? The reason why these are 2 plays here, because you're using them in combination depending on the look that they give you. Understand that you're in trips tight end, so they're going to be forced essentially to move 3 or 4 guys over here to the left side to be able to defend, your 3 receivers. So really what that allows you to do a lot of time is it gives you the look out here with your quarterback to be able to cut it up. I mean, you see how Travis Etienne, amazing blocking right there, ends up blocking 2 different guys and creating a lane for us to just take off with our quarterback. So it's really just reading the look. Like right here, they have 4 guys on that side, so I'm not going to run over there. I'm just going to hand it off the other way, to my running back on the inside zone. So really with this, like I said, it's a combination of, okay, reading the look right here, a pretty enticing quarterback look right here, right, where, because a lot of the time, like number 0 right there, he kind of took a bad pursuit angle. Their defensive lineman did a good job, but a lot of the time with some of these runs, like they just take horrible pursuit angles, and so especially with the quarterback runs, and so you're just able to rip off these big gains. Right here, we're just going to take it off with our running back here, speed boost, and the speed boost really is what, brings the whole scheme together, because especially with your running back, you're going to be able to speed boost after the handoff. So boom, take it and boost, and then, well, I kind of got screwed there with that hurdle animation, but it's like you're just reading the play, reading the look. So right here, quarterback look, probably take it, and I made the wrong read, I guess. Great job by that linebacker. This is especially dangerous when they go to more like cover 0 defenses. So maybe like a DB blitz, where this is what I'm talking about, where they have 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 guys on that left side here, and so this is a great quarterback look, because you're just going to see how, that's what I'm talking about, where they take horrible pursuit angles, and so then we're just able to take it all the way to the crib. So you're just reading the look that they give you based on alignment. Okay, if they give me all the defenders over there on the right side, then I just hand it off with my running back. If not, right, they give me a pretty enticing look, well, I just keep it with my quarterback. This guy takes a horrible pursuit angle, I cut it up, and I score. So really, it's run plays certainly, but it's like really good run plays when you combine them together. You can use these at any point on the field, but especially they're really good down in the red zone. Alright, so like I said, those last 2 run plays I showed you are fantastic in the red zone, but really you're going to need a great passing play, a dot, when you need it down in the red zone. Let me show you the best one. Alright, so this play is quick fork zig here from gun Y off trio weak. The setup is to put RB on a flat, you're tight on a slant, and then you're going to motion Brian Thomas Jr. inside on his zig route. So really what you're going to see now is they're going to be in cover 3, and cover 3 is really the best defense that this play should be called against, right? Because what you're going to notice is this flat route is going to push this flat defender outside. You see how this guy comes all the way down to defend this flat, and then what's so beautiful about this play is they stop, right? He's gonna stop, and really as soon as this defender commits this flat, now he runs inside. So it's really perfect timing. The play is totally synced up in order to allow for us to have a big gain. So right here, this is honestly kind of an everything beater down in the red zone, because I'm not necessarily caring about what play they're in pre-snap. I'm just gonna read it after the snap. So right here, I see they're in man coverage, and so I know that my tight end slant oftentimes is able to do a great job against man. So you're looking for that outside receiver first or really you're looking for the coverage on that right side to see if it's cover 2, cover 3 man, and then if it's man, you're looking to your slant or your zig route to your tight end and your outside receiver. So right here, they're going to be in cover 2. That might have been maybe cover 3, but I think that was cover 2. So even versus cover 2, it's still an opening. Right, so what we're going to see here, let's see what coverage they were actually in. Boom. Oh, they weren't cover 3. So they're in cover 3 right here. So flat route, push this guy outside, and then it's the same thing where you stop, wait for him to move outside, and then you have the lane wide open. So showed you against man coverage, showed you against cover 3 a couple times. Now let's put a cover 2 defense in the field, because here's the difference. They're going to have a vert hook defender, right? If we look at it, it's this defender right here, Bynum. So you have to throw it a little bit earlier and get the ball away from him, right? But if they shade their hooks outside, then you can't throw it. You just have to throw something else, right, on this play, which you have other options, so it's not a big deal, but you're reading him. So right here, you see how he's not really giving me a whole lot. That's what I'm talking about, where the window's not huge. You have to really throw on time with this. That's why your first read, your eyes should immediately move over to that right side of your screen in order to check the coverage. I see they're in cover 2, and I also see that as soon as he moves inside is when I know I'm good to go. Because he starts, you see right here where he's sitting right at the spot I'm going to throw it, but then he starts migrating inside because there's no one there right now. And so that's when our guy goes right behind him, pass lead the ball to right a little bit away from him, and then we're just able to score. So a lot goes into these plays. You're just, like I said, reading 1 or 2 defenders, and then you're kind of making your read based on that. So we go with it again right here where they're going to be in man coverage, and so you're going to have that tight end open right there. That time he was actually cross man, but it's like a lot of great options. You're going to need a red zone passing play to really score and really be consistent. But right here, you see how sometimes you can honestly still throw this. Like this is a slant route. You could throw that if you want. It's going to be a contested catch, but I just normally just like to throw my tight end slant, aggressive catch it if I need to, and turn it into an easy touchdown. So bottom line here with this play, quick fork zig, they run cover 3, it's wide open to your B receiver with a route concept like this, right? And if they run cover 2, throw it earlier. If they run man, look to your zig route on the left side or your tight end slant. But the best red zone money play, because it's basically an everything beater. Alright, so if you enjoyed that breakdown of the Jaguars offense here in Madden 26, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I give you guys free ebook previews, tips and tricks every single day on Madden 26. You don't want to miss out on any of the content I have. But if you want that full Jaguars offensive ebook, like 30 pages, a whole bunch of different formations, everything you're going to need to dominate on offense, if you're really serious about it, go to the link down below in the pinned comment. You can grab it today for 20% off by using code YouTube at checkout. Really, the best way to transform your offense, because it has everything that I'm doing in live, real gameplays that you're going to start to execute in your own gameplay. But if you want to see a gameplay of me running that in a live action game, check out this video right here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.